Comrades, welcome back to episode 3 of Realpolitiks. I'm actually really enjoying this game, and I don't think that comes as a surprise though, because I do enjoy the paradox ones as well, so this kind of grand strategy is something I very much enjoy. Last time when we left off, we just started this war with Namibia, so it sort of ended on a cliffhanger there. So let's see what happens with that. I just want to always open these notices here so that we don't lose any information. So let's do this. I'm going to manually run this, but it will still happen quite quickly. So let's see. So I assign an operation. Let's say we secure our front first. I didn't even look at the chance of success. So the Chinese bloc has been destroyed. North Korea probably left. So we have a secure front now. Let us, so very high success. So let's advance along that front into Namibia now. So it looks like the attackers are green. Just a note now, I'm noticing that. Capture the main roads. So the defender is red. So that means India started the war in Kashmir. And somebody just dropped another bomb, but it wasn't me, I swear. Take airfields in case they have some airplanes there. Did somebody really? Yes. Who did that? Pakistan now. We took their airfields, they gave up on that, so air supremacy over Namibia. We don't have many aircraft, only 4, but still, maybe this is again a summary for 40 or something. Capture their key cities, that's going to be more difficult. So we can't assign any more. I guess that's what that other number meant, that we saw like down here, that little garrison thing, that's how many more you have in reserve. So we can start making more, I guess, or training more. France, so somebody left France, Switzerland, I think. But we can't create more troops right now. Who is doing that? So India now retaliated on the army. This world is falling apart. But anyway, we won against Namibia, so only a little bit remains. Let's take their supply lines and just cut them off completely. They're totally defenseless now, so this is a cakewalk. We just do what we want now. I can tell the computer to do this as well, but I want to do it. So we are now 13th, so we're going up a little bit. So this might take a bit, but what are you doing here? India is beginning to really overwhelm the Pakistanis, and in turn, okay, supply lines captured. I just want to pause quickly, because it looks like the Pakistanis now had to redivert their resources to the uprising in Kashmir. So maybe that was an Indian-backed uprising, because now the Indians can overwhelm the rest of the army. What's left? The final offensive. Let's do that. This is a guarantee, so I'll just close that. Switzerland left France, North Korea left China. So we're going to see some shuffling happening with North Korea, I think. But this is a bit of a bother here. Can we see? There we go. It's a decisive victory. I just want to pause. What's the environment looking like? Alright, no problems. But why is China a high warmonger? It doesn't look like they're in a war, but they probably agitated that thing with Japan where we sided with Japan. That's interesting. But they don't say either of these are high warmongers, even though they're the ones dropping all the nukes. So let's negotiate now for a peace. I can just let it run. So I don't want a white peace. That just brings it back to the way it was. I want to propose a peace, and I want to say I want to acquire Namibia. So it's pre-selected, just confirm, and it's done. So you have to pay a bit of attention to what you're doing with the that peace negotiation, because your option is sometimes hidden somewhere. Better ways of life. So we have improved the HDI to the required task level, so we're getting some more rewards. That will be great for our score. And by the per capita one as well. So that's great. So we did both. So it definitely is related, obviously, to the HDI. So let's just stop for a second there. We have some new projects, but there we now have a very high warmonger level, so we better cool it for a while. At least the world can focus mostly on the Chinese. Let's see in our political system, it's going down again, so we're not really becoming authoritarian, but that doesn't really have anything to do with aggression. I mean, that's more about your control in terms of your political system, in terms of your society, how much you control the everyday life of your population through censorship and stopping dissent and all of that. So, okay, we're still a democracy, but we're a bit of a aggressive one. But there we go. So Namibia is ours. What did we gain from this? So they only contribute 36, but they have 20 minerals. So you can see their economy is very small. Even our smallest here in Natal is 100, so a lot more than 36. But anyway, they're there. There's only 2 million people in Namibia. So it's understandable, but we're getting somewhere. So now we must just let this thing go away for a while, otherwise we're going to face the wrath of the world. So what do we get? So yes, we still have the advanced health theory that they want us to do. They also want us to have a research center, which I can totally agree with. And we must repay all our debts, which is something I never really looked at. So our debts are very small. We can pay them all off. Let's do it. So that was an easy task. Score and action points. So we should get another task soon. There's some unhappiness in Namibia, 6%. I don't know how much is that now. That doesn't sound like a lot to me. Unhappiness, so 5.5, that is not a lot. I would assume that the higher, let's say 30, 50 there, we'll start seeing uprisings, but this is still low. Culture, so the main one is apparently Khoisan, which is still fine because they also had some Bantu culture there. And of course the so-called civilization is African, which we also have. Okay, it's fine. Just carry on. So there we are. This is how South Africa basically looked before 1994. Although the rule over Namibia was totally illegitimate, but that's a whole different story. War between Russia and Ukraine. So they skipped the Baltic and just went straight for the Ukraine again, which they of course took the Crimea and eastern Ukraine, which is again through that paramilitary kind of way, not through a direct assault, but now they're tired of Kiev and they just want to grab it. So let me just look at the tasks. So they want us to have freedom is the most important human attribute. Have less than 3 personal control. I can agree with that in real life again. But what is our current level? Okay, it's going down anyway. It's 4 to 6 or 6 to 4 now. So it's going to drop anyway, which is fine. We don't need to control people. We just invade anyway. The next one I really want is Zimbabwe. I wonder if Uncle Bob is still running that place by this time. Probably not. But they have about 10 million people, or a bit more than that actually. 14 maybe. So that is certainly more than Botswana and Namibia together. So hopefully the economy by that time will have recovered a little bit so we can benefit. 50 and 12. Still, it will help. Then Mozambique and Botswana. I want all of these. Then we'll expand beyond that. So what is happening now? There's no voting happening. And the unhappiness in Namibia is dropping quickly. What was the other thing that just came up? I shouldn't have closed it so quickly. Something was happening. Oh, the Ukraine thing, of course, and Russia is wiping the floor with them. -16 already. They're pushing for the key cities already. So I think very soon Ukraine will be part of the so-called new Soviet Union. So let's see if it's true. Ukraine? No, but didn't it say Russia was attacking the Ukraine? So then they are the defender. I don't understand that business there. A recent summit ended in a serious breakdown, so we must choose between the US and China, and it is an easy choice for me. Uncle Sam gets my vote, so there we go. Because this looks now, if we took that in the Namibian war, we know we were the aggressor, so we were on the left and we were green. But there is no way Ukraine invaded Russia. It said Russia, I don't know, unless I misunderstood that, and the Ukraine is trying to regain Crimea and all of that. But it doesn't seem like that would be the case because they're at the losing end now. NATO doesn't exist to help them anymore. Peace treaty between Palestine and Israel is over, so we might see some more sparks flying there. What's the economy? Oh yes, it was really terrible. 25 and 4 versus 280. Croatia left Germany. I think this war will be very quick, but the Indian and Pakistani one has been dragging on for 7 years now. Longer than the Second World War. Okay, our universal education is almost done, so soon we'll have a better human development. Done. Yep. So we get that plus 20, so we're 70 now. Haha, we're moving towards the more developed nations now, and we get some drop in unhappiness, which is perfect timing given what happened in Namibia, so no sweat there. Let's see, what's the other things we must do? Advanced Health and the Research Center. Let's have a look. Where would that be? Advanced Health Theory. Prestige or score, which I would like, yes. The best possible healthcare supported by specialized high-end computers, and I guess that's where you get the remote operations that happen with robots and things. The doctor can be somewhere else and still perform the operation and all of that. That's very interesting. Okay. Do it. Who can I? Zimbabwe? What's happening in your country? I see you're an authoritarian regime. You know, there was a thing in the UN recently passed, or in the Security Council, where they said you must have a smaller military. That's really a pity for you, because we might be interested in intervening there. 4, 1 and 1. Okay, yes, so that definitely has hurt them a little bit. We can't see their limits, I think. Oh well, they had to reduce by 20, so this is perfect. Let's make another claim. Oh, this thing, is it gonna... that's not good. Now would be the perfect time given their limitation. So we get more score. We're now 11th in the world. That's fantastic. We have nice rockets, and I do love rockets because one of the areas that I'm looking at in my own research is in space. Political aspects of space anyway. So let's see, what else? Immigration policy. Now what they wanted, a research center, I think. But maybe we should focus on more prestige right now. Cultural support. That is not a bad one. It's a year and there is no maintenance. So we just help set up other publicly, okay, but it is publicly funded. I guess it just uses this money as a sort of deposit or investment that can grow then, that can support these institutions. Created to cultivate culture amongst the citizens. Now, of course, what culture is another question, and especially since we have so many cultures, but okay, it is a place where people can celebrate their culture and diversity and so on. That's great. Let's do that. it's a shorter term project anyway. So let us not be accused of neglecting our people's well-being. Stop. Looks like Brazil has left our stock exchange. Yes, they're starting their own. You see, it's still on a 0, so it's very new. But we can then remove them from our stock exchange. 0. So, goodbye. You are the weakest link. At least for our stock exchange. So, we must just wait now. Peace treaty. Oh, great. So, let's just see. Here is the increased economic profile. This is at the top, I think. So what are we now? We're an industry economy, but now because we're 70 HDI, we can move to a service-based economy, which is of course what we want. 60 natural resources, costs, but we get a lot more action points going forward, not just once off. Definitely. Oh, of course I can't do it because we're busy with other things. Once that's done, we can do it. So what happened here? Nothing. It was a stalemate. Nobody got anything. So how many lives were lost for nothing? We can't see what the impact is, of course, but it might happen. Okay, India and Nigeria. It might happen that one of the sides asks us for support to rebuild their country after the war. We'll just have to look out for those icons. And I looked back at one of my previous videos. I saw Pakistan actually ask for something when the war started. There, look at that. And I didn't even realize it. So what do they want? Our oppressors are leading us to ruin. Now who are you now doing the asking? That's what I want to know. They want money. They want action points. Let's do it. We don't like Pakistan anyway, we like India more. So it cost us a bit. It will take... what looks like they're losing action points. Of course our relations will go down, but again it's time-based. It won't be forever and they will gain a lot of unhappiness. Okay, sure thing. Whoever you are, I guess it's the Azad Kashmir people trying again. And if we want to be a world power, we must start thinking beyond the African continent. But not too much, like I'm not going to support the Mashriq people, heck no. Vietnam. Sign a mutual cooperation agreement, so to sort of be a counterweight to China. So Cambodia and Vietnam are now standing together. Oh, Laos wants something. We are having problems with our GDP growth. Our economy could use a little kick. Are you willing to help us? We lose 100 action points. That's fine. Better relations. This I'm not okay with. We will lose HDI for 2 years. It's going to go down by 5. Sorry. But it's not an issue in the sense that we can still change our economy. We only need 60 for that. But do I really want to build a close relationship with Laos right now? Maybe in the future when we start thinking about global expansion, but not right now. This warmongering level is taking a while to go down. Let's see. This is now working, but we have to wait about half a year before we can add another country. So let's see, who could we add? Oh, Lithuania is now becoming friendly with Estonia and Latvia, obviously spurred on by the resurgent Russians, they are almost crushing the Ukrainians now. So they'll probably band together very soon, but still I don't think there'll be a match for the Russians unless they're in a bigger bloc with the US or somebody. Oh yes, the Ukraine is finished. It's a good thing to, I'm very interested to see what is the result. So it's a good thing that we're seeing this now. Anyway, we'll come back and check. What was the other thing I wanted to do now? No idea. I'm rambling so much, but anyway. Zimbabwe, I'm looking at you. Pre-treaty. Alright, stop. So there we go. What happened? Oh, they took Odessa. Okay, so they only took one province, but they cut Ukraine off from the Black Sea. So they now control the Black Sea coast there. So little by little, the Ukraine is losing ground. Very soon the Russians will try going after Moldova probably, or getting them in their bloc, because that was another Soviet republic. Then they'll probably go for the Caucasus and then Central Asia. So what are you doing in this Gackle Ridge? Can't tell. Japan proposed universal armaments reduction. I don't want that. So everyone must reduce their military by a certain amount. They don't say by what. Interesting, because of the pacifist constitution, which I assume is still then applicable in Japan in 2028. They are pushing for universal arms reductions. And in real life, the US and so on would never support that, but here they are. Obviously concerned by what the Russians are doing, and to some extent us as well. Canada left the US. That's interesting. Let's see, do you like the US? No. Ooh, they hate the US. And the US hates them. That's interesting. I wonder why. Maybe somebody did some spy actions and reduced the relationship. The US is not very friendly with Mexico either. Well, sort of neutral. Russia hates them, of course, and so does China. Interesting. I wonder what these buttons are up here, or things, I'm not sure. So if I click on them, is this now with us? We're in the same civilization. I think it is. That's why we're market rivals. So that's just between us and them. So with that's just an explanation of the relationship. Bloc of South Korea is destroyed. Oh well. Once this is done, we'll move to a service-based economy. Portugal joined the US, Mongolia left South Korea, which doesn't make sense, I think. I don't know. If China is now such, I mean, they had a warmonger score here, it would make sense for the countries to band together a bit. Ooh, okay. Hold on. Oh, block of Japan still. Okay, I was just thinking, is Taiwan in China's block? That would be quite a feat for the Chinese. Alright, so we've done that. We get some more score and prestige. And we're 9 in the world now. Hey, we're getting somewhere. So I want a service-based economy. And it will take a while, of course, but this is a major shift for South Africa. In reality, it's a mix of all three, of course. Which every country is, I guess, to some extent. Industry, agriculture and services, but we want to move more towards services. Nepal joined India, which makes sense because they've always leaned a bit more towards India than China. We're 9, we're coming for you, Saudi Arabia and China. And of course the Hindu ties as well. Fight unemployment. This will happen on its own. Below 5%. That is a challenge, but this will just happen over time as long as our growth remains higher than the threshold, which it's not. What's happening there? Okay, the world economy is tanking again. So unemployment is still shrinking because the threshold has dropped. Okay, another thing is done. So that's interesting. Maybe because we're getting more developed and the unemployment is dropping, so the threshold is also dropping. It was 0.4. Okay, so that's fine. That will happen. Let's look at our tasks. Research center, because I want these rewards now. I could just have clicked on that. Aha, so this is under military. That's interesting. Oh, lasers and so on. Okay, yes, militarism will rise. So our troop amount will also increase, I think. Maintenance though, ooh, 7 every turn. That's a big chunk of our money there. Okay, still we'll do it. We can always stop it after a while if we want. Stock slot. Okay, let's see. Who can we add now? We can add Angola, but I don't think that makes much sense. Poland, maybe? Mexico. They will probably break off very soon. Indonesia. South Korea. So why is it so low? Italy, Poland, no. Let's go for South Korea or Indonesia. Maybe Indonesia. I don't know. Can we see again just before I do this where they are in the rankings? It doesn't matter. I think we must just build a closer relationship. Then the score or the money will also increase a bit. Okay, Indonesia, we invite you. So we do that, and now you're paying us more than Nigeria. Yes, relations are not so great. If they're in our block, it'll be even higher, and if they were the same civilization. So let's increase our relations with Indonesia. I think that's the most important one now. Hey, thanks for joining our club here. Welcome. Papua New Guinea joined Japan, which is very interesting given what happened in World War II. Of course, that was now almost a century ago in 2029. So what's happening with the Soviet bloc thing? And the Baltics, what are they doing? Our warmongering level is dropping, but we got about 50 when we ended the war with Namibia. Oh, so okay, they don't want to know anything about it. That's fine. It's going to take a while to try again. So if we try now with Zimbabwe and win, which we must do, then we'll have in the 70s, which I don't want. Universal armaments is also applying and also includes us. 22 now. Okay, it's not a big reduction. It has more of an impact on the larger military forces because then proportionally they lose a lot more. But still, I wonder now. So the capacity has dropped, and by implication that reduced the actual number as well. But do we get the actual troops back once this limit rises again? Probably not. So it just means we lose units. Switzerland now joined Germany, which also makes sense given the linguistic ties there. Netherlands wants something. New patents and technology, but our Human Development Index drops for a year. We get some money out of it, but that's not worth it. No, thank you. You are a rich country compared to us. So it pays to just go around the map every now and then. I like that feature actually, so it doesn't just appear in a list somewhere. We have to go around the map and look at the world. Argentina left Brazil. That's going to shake things up in South America. They might try building their own bloc. What does the wise man in the south say? We operate on a first name basis. My first name is Captain. Well, Captain, my name is Admiral, so I think you've made your match. Anyway, that was my clock going off again. Half hour is over. I'm really trying to limit the length of these episodes because I can just keep going and going and going. So, thank you for watching. Next time we'll probably make a move against Zimbabwe, but we did at least successfully include Namibia into our fold now. So, other than that, we're just climbing the rankings now and going up to a service economy and things like that. So I think things are going very well, although the situation worldwide is quite unstable. Anyway, hope to see you in the next episode and have a fantastic day.